Thank
I
you.
am very blessed to be here because of the fact that I have had 46 years of law enforcement experience. I've also been married to my beautiful wife for 46 years. So the same year that I became a police officer, I got married that same year. And I've had the ability to serve 24 years in the Houston Police Department, where I started off as a street officer, working in patrol, and was able to complete my career as the executive assistant chief of police. And at that time, I was recruited to come to Tennessee to serve as the police chief. And I served there for almost 6.5 years. And during that time, I was able to be blessed to have a great staff around me and great men and women that served the city of Chattanooga. And we too were able to achieve quite a few things by reducing the violent crimes by 20%, reducing the homicides by 50%, also being able to manage and lead a police department that became nationally accredited by the national police standards across America, and we're able to do that in 2 years. And so ultimately, I was able to complete everything that I was tasked to do, completed all the goals, and then I was blessed to move back to the Woodlands. Prior to going to Chattanooga, we had lived in the Woodlands for almost 15 years in the village of Panther Creek. And so when we moved back to the Woodlands in 2005, we moved to Sterling Ridge, and there we were able to build our dream house, and we lived there for about 4 years until we decided we built too much house. So we needed to downsize and get a one-story. And so this is where we reside now in the village of Creekside Park. But during those periods after we moved back to the Woodlands, I was asked to design and implement a public safety management plan to help them be able to manage their law enforcement through contracts that they had with Montgomery County, as well as the Harris County Precinct 4. So we were blessed to be able to draft that and design it as well as implement it through the community policing philosophy. And that is still being used today here in the Woodlands and ultimately throughout a major part of Montgomery County. So shortly after completing that, I was blessed to be called to be the police chief at Houston Independent School District. So I was able to go there for 6 years, and as you stated earlier, we were able to reduce 46% of the crimes that was occurring throughout the district, as well as reducing the number of citations that the students were issued by working with the administration and working with the principals and the staff in the various schools where a lot of those issues were taking place. So we were able to reduce that by 60%. Because what we were doing was that we were basically criminalizing our own students. And so we had to find a different strategy that the teachers could intervene without having to have police intervene. So after that, I was able to join a consulting firm, which is made up of two other police chiefs who were serving school districts in Philadelphia and in Baltimore. So we started our own consulting business, where we train school districts in security as well as universities and churches. And so also we were able to do that at such a great stage that we also consulted with International Association of Chiefs of Police, where we go in and we work with chiefs of different cities to help them who are going through various challenges with their departments, to help them make sure that they can overcome whatever challenges they were going through. So that's basically my career, and I was blessed to be able to be a part of a lot of new things. And when I was in Houston as a young officer, two other officers and myself started the Crime Stoppers program, a national award-winning Crime Stoppers, where the city of Houston have been the leading city in America when it comes to the Crime Stoppers program. So we were able to start that back in 1980. And then ultimately, I was blessed to be able to go to Los Angeles and train with the Los Angeles Police Department, where I was able to come back and train the entire Houston Police Department on the use of alternative weapons, which would be the baton or the nightstick, if you might understand what I'm talking about, which is a weapon you can use without having to use deadly force. So we did that and trained the entire Houston Police Department. We started the first physical fitness program in the Houston Police Department. And then as Assistant Chief of Police, we were able to launch one of the first major gang programs, started at the West Side Police Station, which is out off of Derry, Ashford. And so we were blessed to really be a part of a lot of things throughout my career. And so that's why I want to serve in our community on the board of directors from position 2, because I want to bring those 46 years of my experience as a police chief, but also those years that I served in the various nonprofit agencies here in Montgomery County, as well as in Houston and while I was in Chattanooga. So here in Montgomery County, I was able to serve on the Interfaith Woodlands Board of Directors. I served on the Montgomery County Women's Center and the Montgomery County Library District. At the time, we had a 100 Club of Montgomery County, which no longer is here. It merged with the Houston area Montgomery County, Houston area, Harris County, greater area 100 Club. I served on the Concerned Citizens Against Drugs. It was a task force that was organized in Conroe. And then I served on the task force for our strategic planning for the CISD board. And then I currently serve on Inspirational Ranch board, which is a therapy, equine therapy agency that we serve those special need people who can get some therapy by riding horses and being able to have a great relationship sometime with the horses. And so that's why I want to serve, because I want to bring all of those experiences to our board and be a voice for our residents in the Woodlands. As a police chief, you always had to stand on your personal integrity. And I want to be able to do that as a police chief, because there's going to be some changes that will be taking place in our community, and some that we need to make sure that all of our residents are aware of. And one of the things that I've always tried to demonstrate as a public safety leader and as a servant is stand on your integrity, so that when you do speak, you speak from truth. And I want to make sure that that happened when I ascend to the board of the township. And so that's where I stand at this time. I want to bring those skills that I've been blessed by God to our community. And if our residents want me, then I'm here to serve them. So thank you again for giving me this opportunity to just share my experiences with you.
Of course, yes. So again, you listed off way more qualifications than I was able to research about you.